and welcome to our event, which is titled Sharing Good Practice, Focusing on Farmers and Nature, Promoting Success and Looking Forward. I don't intend to unduly hold up proceedings with a long speech, as we have exciting and inspirational speakers to listen to this morning, with a variety of practical examples where farmers and crofters are working collaboratively with nature to produce in a sustainable way the food that we all eat. This is an extremely opportune moment in time to hold this seminar as we prepare to enter very shortly into a period of some uncertainty and anxiety, not only for farmers and crofters and land managers, but also for environmental agencies, following on from the relative security of the Common Agricultural Policy and the European Environmental Legislative Framework. I want to put on record here that Scottish Natural Heritage recognise and applaud the huge and influential role that our farmers and crofters and land managers play in the protection and maintenance of Scotland's world-famous landscapes and wonderful wildlife. Without them, it simply would not exist as we see it today. I very much believe that not only do we have in Scotland skilled agriculturalists, but we also have agriculturalists who value nature and recognise the value of working with nature to achieve a balanced and sustainable working environment that contributes positively to the economy of Scotland. I believe that we have the resilience and the capacity within our agricultural and environmental agencies not only to resist any regression, but also to maintain and enhance our position on the European and international stage. I would now like to introduce to those of you who have not previously met her, and I'd be very surprised actually if you have not, as she can be seen cycling all over Scotland most days, our Chief Executive of Scottish Natural Heritage, Nature.Scot, Francesca Osowska.
Good morning, everyone. As Ian said, I'm Francesca Osowska. The relatively new, I'm still wondering about how long I can get away with the relatively new term Chief Executive of Scottish Natural Heritage. I've been in post since October last year. I think I've got another few weeks of the relatively new thing to go on. And it's great to see so many people here. I'm really pleased that so many of you have been able to make the journey for this important, oh, I forgot to do my thing, sorry, person, can you help? For this really important event on sharing good practice. I attended the NFUS conference dinner earlier in the year, and it was a great event, and those of you who were there possibly still have sore heads from it. But I went to that event not having had a lot of exposure to agriculture and farming issues, and I was a little bit trepidatious about what I might hear. I know that environmental issues and farming don't always go hand in hand, and I knew that Terry Ahern, Chief Executive of SEPA, had been speaking earlier in that day, and those of you who know Terry know that he's pretty forthright and very entertaining, and so I kind of went to this event, and what really struck me was the mood in the room was a mood of optimism, and that's not to deny some of the challenges that we'll no doubt hear more about today, but there was a real optimism. People that kind of welcomed Terry's approach, and I heard from a number of the delegates that this was the most environmentally focused conference that the NFUS had had, and people thought that that was all the better for it. Now, there are challenges, that's not to deny that at all, but I was really heartened by the positivity in the room, and I'm sure that positivity will come through today. I'm sure that you will all have read our new corporate plan, Connecting People and Nature, cover to cover, but if not, I'll just give you a quick flavour of that. The clues in the title, connecting people and nature. Previously, you might have thought that SNH's focus was, completely on species, habitats and wildlife, and that is still absolutely our core business. But while fulfilling that remit to act as the government's advisor on those issues and caring for the environment, we increasingly in SNH see our role as to work with the people who actually manage nature. And that's you. And I'm really pleased to be here because by working with farmers, their advisors and partner organisations working with the farming community, we will achieve greater biodiversity benefits for all of us, and not just today, but in the longer term. Now, SNH has always had a strong role in supporting farmers in partnership with the Scottish Government. We obviously play a major role in delivery of the SRDP. We have 30 full-time staff dedicated to that programme, and it is a really key piece of work for us. In terms of future plans, we know there's a degree of uncertainty in terms of EU exit, and I'm sure we'll hear about that. But over the last few years, we have supported around 1,500 agri-environment agreements, which is worth over £150 million, which is quite staggering in terms of volume. What I'm really looking forward to today is actually hearing from 5 farmers who tell us about the amazing work that they do for nature on their farms and the benefits that they see as a result of investing in work which not only directly benefits the wider environment, but what I'm hoping to hear is about the twin benefits in terms of benefits to their business, but also benefits to that wider environment. And we will hear from them basically as soon as I shut up. Doesn't need me to tell you that around 3/4 of Scotland's land area is used for agricultural use. And so what farmers do on their land is vitally important for the future of nature. Those decisions that you're making day in, day out have really wide-ranging implications in terms of the future of Scotland's nature. And I think most people would acknowledge that farming practices have changed tremendously over the last 50 years, and that has led to many improvements in relation to agricultural productivity, which has had an impact on the environment and has led to kind of some challenges as we within SNH work with the farming community. But what will be heartening to hear about today is that actually I think the farming community itself has recognised some of these challenges, and the 5 speakers that we'll hear from will tell us about their journey in recognising that they want to do the right thing by their business, and I don't underestimate that you are running businesses, but want to do the right thing for nature to ensure that nature is here for the generations to come. Now, in a way, this is your event. SNH is hosting it, but really this is for you. I'm merely an interloper into this conversation, and SNH wants to listen to you and to understand from you what you've been doing to manage your farms for both profit and nature, and how you've done that with incentive schemes and perhaps without. We want to celebrate what can be achieved when farmers put the environment at the heart of their farming activity, and also to learn from you and be inspired by the case studies that we will hear about. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about the innovative work that is being done up and down the country, and how we might apply that to kind of future policy decisions which are kind of live at the moment in relation to the future of farming in Scotland. As I mentioned earlier, this is a time of some uncertainty, but one thing we know is that whether we live in Glasgow or Gairloch, Edinburgh or Elgin, the services and the businesses that you run will deliver a healthy and resilient environment. So I'm hoping that all of us today can have a shared vision for farmers and crofters continuing to work the land, playing a vital role in our rural economy and society, but also contributing positively to maintaining and enhancing our habitats and species.